Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. I'm Richard Allan. We talk about stocks on this channel, and we've talked about SBE slash ChargePoint quite a few times, and the vote for them to merge from SBE to become ChargePoint or CHPT on the stock exchange is actually happening next week, Thursday. So this is coming up. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about price action, and we're also going to talk about an email, if you're a holder of SBE, that you might have received from Switchback. So we're going to talk about all of that stuff in this video. Hey, if you're new here, please consider subscribing, or maybe you've seen a bunch of my videos and there's still that red button to hit subscribe. Please consider doing that. We're almost at 50,000 subscribers. It helps me out a lot, so I appreciate it. But let's just jump right into the chart here. Look at this. So SBE is a SPAC, okay? They are taking ChargePoint public. ChargePoint is, in the US anyway, they're the largest provider of EV charging stations. So this is a company that has massive, massive potential over the next 5, 10, 15 years. The EV revolution is here. It's happening right now. It was started with Tesla, and it's just going to keep taking over different companies like Ford and GM and others right across the board. It's just gonna keep snowballing. And ChargePoint will be there to capitalize on a ton of this business, like a ton of this business. They have such a large market share in the US that it's going to be hard for any company to catch up to them. They have an over 70% market share here in the US, and they're expanding around the world as well. So this is a chance for you to get in on this company at kind of the ground level. Now, we're going to talk about this price action because at one point, the share price for this was almost $50 per share. It was $49.48 back here right around Christmas time, December 28th or so, right here. This was massive, massive price action. And we've been talking about this back in like the, I think, $13, $14 range, way back here. And it's done incredibly, incredibly well since that time. Now, it's consolidated a lot. It's been in this range of like $35 to $45 for quite a long time, okay? Over the last like month and a half or so. And I think that's because the merger date is so close. Now, usually, right, after a SPAC merges with the actual company, after that transaction goes through, SPACs fall in price. Usually that's what happens. Usually there's a correction of, 20% up to 40%, sometimes more. So you have to be prepared for that sort of thing to happen. Now, is that a guarantee that this is going to happen in case of ChargePoint? No, absolutely not. However, it will likely happen. Now, we're already down, 20% from the highs of $50 per share, down at 40 right now. So could that be the correction? Maybe. But I would anticipate more of a fall, probably back into the $30, $25 range, even with ChargePoint after the merger goes through. Probably within about a month or so, I would anticipate some sort of correction down before it starts to go back up. So that's what I'm anticipating for ChargePoint. That's when I will consider adding it to my long-term portfolio. Right now, for me, it's a little bit priced too high for me to want to get in, especially with the merger coming up. Now, let's talk about this email that you might have gotten. One of my Discord members pointed this out to me. It says Switchback Energy Acquisition Group, issue type, redemption rights. Okay, so with every SPAC, you have the right to redeem your shares if you don't like the merger that's going through. Now, in this case, you have the right to redeem your shares at $10.09 per share. Now, I mean, I'm not a financial advisor, but it would be absolutely silly, right, to redeem your shares for a fourth of what they're trading for on the public market, right? If you're not happy with SBE becoming ChargePoint, sell your shares at 40 some dollars a share. Please don't give them up at $10 per share. So that's what this means. Now, there's with SPACs, right? maybe you're just not happy with it and you're like, okay, cool. You can always redeem your shares for right around $10 per share. Sometimes it's a little bit more, but you can almost always redeem your shares, right? But let's say this was trading at, right at $10. You can get $10.09, for instance. Then it would be smart to do your redemption. But if you're wondering what this email was, that's what this email is. Essentially, you have the right to redeem your shares for at least $10 per share. That's what this is telling you. But in this case, right? In the case of SBE, it's run up so much, you'd be giving a ton of money away if you decided to redeem your shares for this price. Now, if I'm wrong, if for some reason I'm missing this, please let me know. I'm almost 100% positive that this is how this works, but I obviously want to be corrected if I'm wrong, if I'm getting this sort of information wrong. But please let me know, how are you guys feeling about this merger? Are you excited? I know most of you are that watch these videos, but where do you think the price is going to go? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think it's going to run up after the merger? Or do you think it's going to pull back like almost every single SPAC has in the past? Now, we've talked about many SPACs before, and they almost always correct. Almost always. And that's almost always the best time to get in on the company is after the correction. Now, once a company merges, that $10 minimum price disappears. Okay, so you need to keep that in mind. There's a chance that once ChargePoint is CHPT, that it's gonna just tank and it'll never recover, right? Like, that's just the stock market. There's a chance, right, that this isn't going to be a $40, $50, $60 stock in the future, but I really think it will be. I think they're going to continue to dominate this market. I think they're going to continue to ink the correct deals. I think they're going to continue to innovate. I think they're going to be a powerhouse in this space like they are now for many years to come. And I think this is a great long-term investment. Really great long-term investment. So, but let me know what you feel about ChargePoint. Let me know what you think. Are you guys watching the big game today? I don't know who's going to win. Does Tom Brady even deserve another championship? It's kind of crazy that he's even part of this. It's pretty awesome. So let me know if you're watching the big game. Somebody was like, dude, you should live stream during the halftime show. I feel like that is potentially a good idea, but potentially a bad idea too. I don't know. I don't want to take anybody's thunder. I don't even know who's performing at the halftime show. But it may not be me. But seriously, guys, thank you so much for joining me for another video. If you're not subscribed yet, please consider helping me get to 50,000 subscribers. That would just be amazing. It's happening so quick. So thank you so much for joining me for another video. Again, I'm Richard Allan. If you didn't already do it, as always, hit that beautiful red subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.